All right, guys, welcome to the show. The only real star, Ashton. What's up, man? Yeah. Special guest, Mayorano and Gilbert. Oh, he's showing you the projected cola. Good job, good job. All right, Ash, go ahead and put it down for now. There you go. All right, guys, we're going to go over what's happening right now in our school district. We're going to go over what happened in the May 23rd board meeting with the money. So I wrote down some notes. Number one, the first thing that was said around the 2 hour and 47-minute mark is that the state is going to start reducing funds.
Wow, another 2018 issue.
Yeah, that's what it seems like, right? Wow. The other thing that was mentioned during this little piece of the meeting was that they already have $5 million. $5 million's already gone. So
that were allotted to the district?
Yeah, that the district was supposed to get. I'm going to have to put my glasses on, man. Here's the third point I wrote down. The district, they had said the district will build a budget with the COLA for this year. But that COLA might not be fully funded. What does that mean? That the district will have to make adjustments. What does that mean?
Cut positions again.
It sounds like cuts.
2016, 2018.
Oh, man. Okay, so that being said now we go into, also they mentioned if you lose more kids, then you're going to lose a lot more money. Declining enrollment. So this is all bad, right? So one of the other things that Mrs. Alfronte, the assistant superintendent of finance, what she says, she brought up the cost of running the school district and the cost of materials, the cost of everything is still rising. She said California is losing a lot of people. And then she mentions that the state has a $31 billion shortfall, and it could actually increase to a $40 billion shortfall. What does that mean? That means maybe even a lot more cuts to education. But saying that, one of the things that they did mention was that they could start closing classrooms. So, of course, you're going to start cutting stuff, right? So it's all about money. So then I wrote down some remarks that Mrs. Alfronte had said. And one of them was, we have 1 year to make adjustments. So it looks like they're good for another year. So you got to look, as a board member, they should be looking long term. The board, I'm talking about the board here now. And the administrators, but it's the board's responsibility. She also makes a statement, it's scary as far as the state goes. Hopefully doesn't get worse. These are all little statements. We'll figure it out down the road. And then the big one towards the end was, where she got a lot of her information, is School Services of California said this is the riskiest budget they have ever seen. So that's pretty damn scary. If you're on that, you know what I mean? So the school board, and this is why we bring it up, they got to really watch this money. They're the oversight.
They just created all these, I don't mean to cut you off, man. They just created all these positions, many positions.
Created a lot of positions. And remember, so now they got the contract with the salary schedule increased. And then you have the contract, the 8, 7, and 1, and 4. Horrendous.
And that 4%.
Yeah, the 4% is going to be attached to the one. They call it one time, but we don't know.
One time if it's
if it's actually in the contract.
Unless it's specified on there, it's not one time.
Yeah.
It's ongoing.
Yeah, so we don't even know that yet. Oh, you going to take off, Ash? Okay. So Ashton's going to take a break.
Thank you, Ash.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. So that was really chilling what Mrs. Alfronte said, those little statements. So I just want everybody to know that that's what they're talking about, right? Because that's kind of like a doom and gloom. So then we go into, they had the projected COLA. So that was the sign that Ashton was holding up. So I'm going to put it right here, Gilbert. So if you guys can see it, projected COLA. What is the COLA? The COLA is all the money it takes to cover all costs to teach our kids. So it's covering almost everything. Not everything, but almost everything. So what they're saying here is this next school year, they're at an 8.22% COLA. It's a lot of money. After this next year, 24-25, they're going to go down to a 3.94, which is half. Yeah, we don't know how much that is yet, but it's going to be a lot of money. And it's going to go down again and again. So you're going to be losing a lot of money. So what's the first thing I heard at that meeting was condensing classrooms, watching the hiring. So already the kids are going to have to suffer with the condensing of classrooms. And so while this is going on, now after this doom and gloom meeting, part of the meeting that happens, now they go into this last week. I started getting phone calls, talking to people, and what's going on now is now the union has decided, hey, we want to sign.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, and it's probably because of the projections, right?
No, fact finding.
Yeah.
They're the ones that introduced it. Let's go.
Exactly. So that's the whole point, right?
Well, why
so,
you wanna renege?
yeah, exactly. So the union has bucked the school district, has been horrendous to the people's board.
Oh, absolutely.
And they've taken it all the way to this point, and now and what I think is because of this last meeting and the projections. So now they're willing to sign. They don't want to go to fact finding, from what I hear. And I'm hearing that through their members, some of their members. So now the question is, will the district cave again and just give in to them, or will they actually go to fact finding? Now, one thing people have to understand is they threaten this all the time, right? It's going to strike, fact finding, all this crap. They're not going to do it, but they use it. So since they pushed it all the way to the end, it only makes sense to go all the way so you can know how it is. And then not only that, I'm not going to say teach them a lesson, but now you don't have to be afraid of that every year.
No, teach them a lesson.
Yeah, or teach them a lesson.
Yeah.
So if this board doesn't do it, I'm just going to say they're incompetent. I mean, really, they are. They're giving away. I mean, we already know we have 73 people that are going to get $20,000 or close to $20,000 this year. Plus, everybody else is going to get over $8,000 or more, which is almost everybody else. Not everybody, but almost everybody else.
But it's a lot of money to put AC units
on the bus
for kids, according to a board member.
Yeah. Oh, so a board member mentioned. I think,
sickening.
Yeah, Nick said something about it cost $28,000. Mrs. Alfronte said I think she said there was about 17 buses. So we don't have money for that right now to do that
For our kids.
For our kids
and our bus drivers.
And the bus drivers, but yet you have money to give all this salary schedule movement and a 4% bonus on top of the 8%. They have money for all that shit, but yet not the kids. For the buses or for anything else. The wrestling facility.
Yeah. That's another one, man.
Oh, man.
It's not.
And anybody can make an agenda item. Call your board member and say, hey, we want that done next 5 years. Maybe they probably won't do it, but you know what? You have the right to do it.
I can't believe that they're willing to spend, the board's willing to spend that money on that, but not take care of our kids and our staff, bus drivers.
Yeah. So, the whole point of being on the board, to have a board, is oversight. You're the oversight. Who's fighting for our kids? Right now, Mrs. Alanis is the only one that said anything about it. She says, what are our kids and our parents going to get out of it? And then she gets attacked for saying that. And then who gets praised are the ones that are giving all the money to the adults. And then here's another thing. You should know where your board member stands.
Well,
so not to cut you off, but it's obvious where Mr. Sahota stands and Mrs. Kessler right now with this ridiculous contract because of the salary schedule change. Not to mention what they did in summer school. So you got those two over here. You got Rosemary supporting the parents and the kids, wanting more for them. And then we got the other two guys, and I thought I knew these guys pretty well, but they're not saying nothing during the meetings.
Well, it's acceptance. When you're saying,
yeah, you should know where your guys stand. Now, I think I know where one of them stands from what he told me in the past, but I don't know now. And the two guys aren't saying anything. You should know where your guy stands. I should know. You should know. They should be in open session talking about it.
Nick said where he stands about not.
Oh, yeah, he said it was okay.
Why are they not saying anything?
Well, I think it's because
they're scared.
They're scared, yeah.
Scared.
That's what I think.
They're afraid to be questioned on their stance.
Maybe
they handle it?
Maybe they can't. I would think
they can't defend their stance.
That's what I think. You can't. I mean, you might be able to say something to somebody that's not knowing what's going on, but if you watch the meetings, you're not going to be able to defend it.
You know what's sickening, man? And I use that term a lot because it's to the point on this topic, is that these people run their campaigns about kids, and they do the complete opposite. How can you not think that ACs are not important for our bus riders, for our bus drivers?
And why we bring that up, and how come we're bringing that up, is because we see what they're doing with the money.
Yeah, with the money, just flushing it away.
Yeah. So we watch, and then you have this COLA right here. It's projected. How could you sign that contract with the salary? So if you're going to move the salary schedule, then you don't give them the 8%.
That's a raise in itself.
Yeah, and so they're going to probably say, well, it doesn't. Not everybody's going to get it right away with the salary schedule. It doesn't matter. You're going to get
it.
The
numbers, they're decreasing.
Yeah, you're going to get less and less. And this is projected. And remember what they read from the California Services. What was it called? School Services California. This is one of the riskiest budgets of all time. So what does that tell you? That it could even be worse. And if you're paying attention, it probably is going to be worse. So these guys have a duty to look to the future. If these guys right here don't understand that you're going to go after this year, you're cool this year, but you're going to go from 8 to 3 and 3 projected. Do you know what that means?
That's why they need to go to fact finding.
This is exactly why.
Absolutely.
But you know what? So there's a big chance they won't. Why? Why wouldn't they go to fact? Why wouldn't they?
Cave to the adults.
Fact finding.
Find
out the facts.
Exactly. The only reason why
they're the ones that wanted to impose it.
The union.
They wanted to impose that.
And
let's go to fact finding.
Let the union find out the facts. Let the administration find out the facts.
And the
most
community.
of all, let the community find out the facts.
Exactly. So not to do it is shameful. I'm just gonna say it's shameful. If you don't do it, don't ever talk to me, Max. I want to ring your ear. So your representative is Nick, and you don't think Nick should. You think Nick should go to fact finding.
Absolutely.
You think Mark should go to fact finding.
Absolutely.
Fedor should go to fact finding.
Absolutely. Why is fact finding a bad thing?
It's not. It would be bad for the union to show the people how it works. Right now, they can't use that as a threat anymore. So
and aren't they already negotiating for next year?
They already opened contracts. Something about the contract
we haven't even
openers.
signed this one. They're already negotiating for next year. Let's find out how this works. Let's everybody find out how
it's
this
only
works.
common sense. Common sense. Why wouldn't you do something common sense? This right here, and here it goes once again. Yes, here it goes once again. You know, dude, we had 60, 70 people yelling at us for 8 months. I don't give a shit what they say. They're scared. How this doesn't even make sense.
Dude.
You know what? If they sign this contract, I'm gonna shoot them with tons of emails. Explain this, please. Come to the show and explain
the
it.
School administrator in charge of finance is telling you.
Yeah, what's gonna happen in the future?
What's gonna happen?
They're gonna make adjustments. We're already closing classrooms.
Maybe that's.
And you know what? Would you think there's gonna be layoffs?
Yes.
Of course, they did it once.
They already did 2018, right? Almost exact same shit. Not exact same, but it's almost happening again. Hey, I'm riled up because this is ridiculous.
Well, I think it's worse because now there's more positions.
And now they're aware of it. How could you, on that board, anybody on that board sign this? How could you? You're going to lay off people. Now you hear them say that we don't want to lay off people. What do you think is going to happen?
You can't sustain that.
It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Not to mention working 24 hours a week, getting $3,000
Wait, what?
for the summer school crap.
Oh, 7.
So the guys who want to sign this contract, that are okay with this, are the same guys that want to give away all that extra money for summer school.
$750?
$750 a day.
For how many hours?
Remember, I got the MOU here, man.
What's like 5, 6 hours?
Yeah, it's 7:30 to 1:30. 6 hours, right? And you're doing 4 days, 24 hours, right? 24 hours times 750 was that $3,000? $3,000 a week.
For 4 days.
4 days, 6 hours a day.
24 hours.
Now I think it's 10, 11, and 12 work until 2, an extra half hour. So anyway, I'm just bringing that up because when you have Mr. Sahota supporting this horrendous contract with Mrs. Kessler, and then they're going to need another vote. Mrs. Alanis is the one over here fighting against, hey, I want more for the kids. I'm hoping the other two are going to go that way, but they're real quiet.
You know what I like? Is I like that I know where she stands.
Yeah,
that's the whole point. You should know where Mark stands. I thought I knew where my guy stands.
I may not agree or disagree with her, but I know where she stands, and she's clear on it.
That's the whole point.
And you know what?
You should know.
Because she's an elected
official.
official.
Because they're working for us.
And she's a trustee, and she's a public official. and she's not afraid to tell you where she stands.
Yeah, and we talk to these dudes,
and
right?
it's okay that we don't agree with them.
Yeah, you don't.
All
Yeah,
the time. We're not going to. But hey, man, when you sit there and you run your campaign with signs for kids, student achievement, blah blah blah, and you're doing the opposite for our kids, that's a problem.
so you cannot hold people accountable if you're not accountable with the money, right?
Right.
Well, if
So-
you're not accountable on what you're signing and approving, you don't even know what you're signing,
It's horrendous.
and you approved it.
Horrendous dudes. I don't even know what to say. So this says it all right here, right?
Yeah.
So Caesar, if you know, let's say Caesar's company is making, I don't know, X amount, 100 million, and you're going to lose not going to say half of it, but you're going to lose a ton of it. What are you going to do? You're going to have to lay off.
Wow, dude.
I mean, I don't want to be the guy who keeps crying about laying off, but these guys talk about layoffs,
Which reality?
and that's what they're doing. They're actually
reality.
causing layoffs. When you give 73 people this coming year, which is the only good year coming up, right? That's what the 8% COLA is for this coming year. So you're going to give 73 people, once the contract is signed, let me take that back. The contract hasn't been signed, but that's what's the offer. And that's because they moved the salary schedule too.
Is it true that they're overly staffed for summer school?
Well, that's what people are saying, that they got too much staff,
Wow.
that there's hardly any kids in some of these classrooms. I mean, I don't even know, dude. I've been getting a lot of calls, and I'm not even on the board anymore. But I think what's starting to happen is, because I'm going to get calls from employees, not from the parents. So the employees are worried about their own damn district, dude.
Well, absolutely. Look what happened in 2018.
Yeah.
2016.
Yeah, and so here's a good story. I have a good friend. Sit down, boo. I have a good friend, a couple good friends that are teachers, and one of them tells me, "Hey, bro, I'm going to take advantage of this amount of money, ridiculous amount of money." That's what he told me. I'm going to take advantage of it, but I'm scared. What the hell are these guys doing? That's what he told me, man. I'm like, dude, I don't even know. But so, like I said, we don't even know where our guys stand. You know, we know where. So the contract's horrendous. It goes back to that. So now you go to fact finding. I don't know what happens, but whoever signs that deal,
I think fact finding is a must.
Oh, it's an absolute. Yeah.
It's a must.
Yeah.
common sense. Why would you not? I can't even think of a reason why you wouldn't do it, especially once it's pushed to the end like this. They're going to say, well, it harms the kids. It harms. Well, how does it harm anybody?
They wanted that in the first place.
Yeah, they started it.
Learn the process.
Learn out.
Learn the
Don't-
process.
Yeah, don't be guessing. Don't be assuming. Let's know the facts.
You know, we
Fact
shouldn't even be
finding.
here, and we should be here. You know, man, when I got off the board, I thought, hey, we're going to be helping the board. We do all the positive stuff. But, man, they have stunk it up, dude, with this contract. I mean, with the money they have been led down a rat hole. It's been horrible. And that's just from watching the meetings and from what the employees are telling me, dude. Parents don't even know. It's horrendous, dude. I want to make flyers with all the money that they have thrown away or gave to the adults and pass them out. Whoever signs that contract, I'm going to go to their neighborhoods and pass them out so those people know. Come on, man. I'll do it, too. Because that's garbage to me, man.
Well, it should be to every parent.
You know, I supported all those guys, too. All of them. They don't even talk to me. Don't even talk to. I don't even want to talk to them. I'm just going to chew them out. That's it. It's ridiculous. I got really fired up today doing all these numbers, man. I was like,
Well,
man,
it's very disturbing.
it is disturbing.
You take from our kids and not wanting to invest in our kids, our staff too, our bus riders.
Yeah.
I used to be a bus rider, man.
Hey, so yeah.
Buses are hot.
Oh, yeah, dude. So when you don't do things for the kids, but yet you give away a ton of money, so that's what's pissed me off.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
That's the whole point.
If you
Who's
want-
fighting to give more money? So I see Mrs. Alanis talking about it, but I don't see nobody else. The other ones are, two of them will say, well, we're okay with it. You're okay with it? Well, shit. I'm not, dude. And one of them we sat with.
Yeah.
And he just turned a whole different way. Why? Why, dude?
Can't take
Oh,
Well, you know what? You know where the answer is at?
what?
Fact finding.
Fact finding. No, it's a good point. Hey, we're getting all pissed off.
Yeah.
Hey, we're dads. We're allowed to get pissed off. If they don't like it, too bad. You're on the damn board. You should be hearing people talk. And you're lucky that a lot of people don't know. And we're going to try to tell people. That's the whole point. Let's tell them. You signed the contracts, or you think it's okay to put it on the table, then justify it. Why? Why are you giving so much money to the adults and not our kids? Last year we said it's about the kids, not the adults. Now this year it's flipped.
They're scared.
But their actions. Okay, so now let's bring this up. Measure L. Remember, we were there. Measure L, there was going to be no more than the 8%. And 8%, that was it. And so our property tax is going to go up. And all of a sudden, you get a new board, and you give bonuses out. You change the salary schedule. So all this other money's going out now. Yeah. And I'm paying for it. I feel like I'm paying for your bonuses.
For your raises.
Yeah, even though it's in a roundabout way, it's still being done.
Yeah.
And basically, and you know what? I take that as they lied to us. They lied to us. Remember, November, fact-finding. This is it. You lied to us. Or this new board majority, and it's not Mrs. Alanis is the only one that's speaking up for us, man. So I got to give her praise. But the new board majority, however that's going, thinks it's okay that the people have been lied to. Measure L. I told them all. I told Nick about it. I told Fedor. I told Mark, and Mrs. Alanis. Measure L. You're gonna have a problem with all of us because of Measure L. You promised the people. The people were promised. Now those couple guys might say, "Hey, well, I just got on." So you think it's okay for the people to pay more to help the school, and then you turn around and give it as a damn bonus? F that. I'm pissed, bro. Oh man. Am I wrong? Maybe
No.
I'm wrong.
You're not wrong.
So I'm getting too wound up, dude.
No,
It's disturbing.
It's pissing me off. I'm basically paying for those raises. We are. That it was said it wasn't going to happen. So why did it change? The new board members?
well, we can find out with
Fact finding. They got to go to fact finding.
Got to go to fact finding.
We'll do another video if they decide to go or not.
Okay.
And then we're going to blast who doesn't want to go. And we should call them live. Hey, why didn't you go, fool? Why didn't you do it?
They're scared.
Tell us.
Scared.
Just tell us.
They're scared.
Tell the community. So when you're on these boards, you got to be able to tell the community what you're doing.
Right.
Right?
And where you stand.
Well,
where
most
you
importantly,
stand.
Where you stand.
Yeah, where you stand. I want to know.
And defend your stance.
Yeah. So I'm hoping I know where my representative stands. I'm going off of what I've been told in the past. So, and then I know where Miss Alanis stands, and I know where the other two stands, and we'll see. We'll see about your rep. We should already know.
Yeah.
And because we don't know, it's caused all the chaos in the school district. Right? All this back and forth bullshit we hear, everybody's hearing about, is because you don't know where people stand. Or you only know where a couple of them stand. And what that does now, it has everybody joshing. Oh, let's see if we can get this guy over here, this guy over here. Well, basically, that's because you're showing weakness. You're showing that you're teetering on everything. You should be like, nah, it's about the kids. That's why I'm here. That's what I want people to say. That's what I would expect people to say. If you don't say that, and you go with these union contracts that are ridiculous, then what that does is you're for the adults, no matter what you say. I don't care about anything else. I don't want a damn cheerleader on the board. I want a representative, a fighter. Right? I mean, that's what I would think. A freaking fighter. Who's representing me, man? Who's representing you and everybody?
Who's representing your son?
Yeah, see, you see Ashton right here? That's why I get wound up. Not my other boys, everybody's boy. So I think about Ashton, I think about everybody's kid. You don't want to put air conditioning? Now, no one's going to micromanage that in the beginning, right? But once you start to do they're acting like there is no board.
Well, there isn't.
There really isn't. We only have one person standing up, and I can't, for the life of me, figure out why nobody's jumping on and supporting Mrs. Alanis. When she says, what are our kids getting out of it? How come nobody went over there? That reminds me of when this dude goes over there, makes the only agenda item from a parent ever about the wrestling facility, and then he's getting all pissed off. Hey, this is for our kids. Our kids deserve it. Those guys should have all been jumping on it like, yeah, he's right.
Because they were scared of the
union, all those people. Oh, yeah, you're right.
That person pounds on the dad. What about these teachers? Wait a minute.
We're not here for them. Our reps are not here for them. You treat everybody fair.
Yes.
You're here for our kids.
For our kids.
Yeah, you know what? They didn't say that when I was there. And this is not about me. But there is a difference. A A major shift. So is it the board? What is the board? What am I talking about?
It is.
It is the board. But why?
They're scared.
Scared. I mean, what else could it be?
Scared.
Fact finding will tell us a lot.
Damn.
And I hope they do go to it. It's,
They have to do it.
It's
They have
very,
to.
it's very important.
Hey, hey, so they should do it.
Yeah.
But will they?
We'll come back and find out.
see.
We'll find out. But the way it's looking, man, they're so shaky
Oh, we'll come back.
as a unit. They're not thriving as a unit. That's why there's so much dissension. That's why you got this massive contract. And the contract's massive.
The summer school one is.
Oh, the summers. Oh, yeah, that's horrendous too. But one thing I noticed when they talk about the contract on the paperwork, they don't tell you on the. They'll tell you 7-1 and the 4% one time. They don't tell you about the salary schedule. That's what makes this ridiculous. Is the salary schedule?
Makes
And
no sense.
Now,
Makes no sense.
Now, Fresno B, niche.com, Department of Ed, we're number one in average pay. So then we're number one in pay, and 20 out of 21 that we know around here. And we go back to it, but on state testing, we're 18 out of 21. Dude, 18 out of 21, and we're going to give a massive increase. Some of them are going to get almost $20,000. And for what? You're basically rewarding.
For bad behavior.
Yeah, our school is suffering. Our kids are actually suffering.
Oh,
And the stats don't lie right there, man. Now, here's the other thing. So they restructured intervention. They had, they had a retrain. They had the mentors for the principal. You had the board policy of bringing the internal testing. Now, math and ELA, switching it off every other month. You have all this, so we don't even know if it's helped. It should have helped. The scores should go up with all this change. So, when I hear stupid shit, like a board member has been popping off saying, well, let's give them more money and maybe they'll try harder.
That is
Because the scores are so bad.
absolutely
Well,
shit.
yeah, so that's really dumb. But even worse than that is you don't even know with the changes that were made last year if they worked.
Yeah, you gave
So
them.
you give all the money away. You don't even know if what happened. I mean, come on, dude. These guys, it's just getting more and more ridiculous. So let's just say you should go to fact finding, right?
Definitely.
Common sense dudes.
100%.
There's no reason why not to. It's gonna be interesting if they don't. And yeah, the only reason why you wouldn't is you'd be scared, because at this point, all the way to the end, is that union pushed it all the way to the end.
You gave them the contract you wanted, pretty much,
Just gave them probably even more.
and you're not willing to go to fact finding. No, you're the problem if you're on the board and you're not willing to go to that.
Yeah, they've made some horrendous. So everything's about the money.
No, it is.
So going back, once you change that salary schedule forever,
That's a raise in itself.
yeah, that's a raise with yeah. I mean, it's pretty bad, dude. And then if you look at this year's summer school compared to last, there's going to be a massive difference. I don't even care if you have extra money. You look for something to do with the kids with that money.
Right.
I mean, it's not going good, man. It's not going good. And I do believe the administration kind of pointed some of these guys in a different direction, but these guys have to be strong. And they do work for us. So if you can't tell Gilbert, you or me, why you're doing some of these crazy okays of budgets, then you're the problem.
And it's okay not to know something.
Yeah, ask. But don't be signing off on stuff if you don't know.
Well, stuff that you haven't even read.
Man.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah. So I want to give praise to Mrs. Alanis being the only one sticking up right now for her kids. And like I said, for the life of me,
and-
why aren't they rallying around her,
And
man?
not only right now, man, from the beginning of her campaign.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't agree with everything, but
Yeah.
hey, as long as the board members are putting our kids number one, I'll support them 100%.
Yeah.
Because that's why Mr. Lopez said that's why they're trustees, because parents can't go to the meetings all the time.
Yep, and you trust them.
You trust them.
You have to trust them.
But I don't know about now, man.
Yeah. She, like I said, I don't know why they're not when she makes a statement like, what are our kids getting, why wasn't the whole board jumping on that?
They're scared. They're scared.
Yeah, there's no reason why not to.
Nah, they're scared. They're scared of the adults.
The pressure.
They are.
And people do react different to pressure, but
Hey, but if you
But
can't,
you have
I've
to-
said it before. If you can't do the position, get the hell out.
yeah,
Let somebody.
you're
let
going to hurt
some-
our kids.
That's it. You're ruining the kids. You're ruining our community. It's terrible.
Yeah, and so now when they talk about layoffs, like I said, going back to all the money, man, and I hate to be bringing it up, but we got to kind of pound it in everybody's head that what they're doing is going to cause issues. They're telling you that you got one more good year with a lot of money, and then it's going to go down. And it could even be scarier for Mrs. Alfrante's words she was using. The riskiest budget, and we'll take care of it, down the line. I mean, come on, man.
Those are the things the board needs to be listening to.
Right? So the board hears this. The board saw this. I got this from the board meeting. I got this. This is from the board meeting. The board saw this. Why would anybody say, hey, the first thing I would say is, hey, wait a minute. We're screwed after this year. We better rethink what we're doing. We haven't signed the contract because they've held out. Because they held out, well, I'm going to pull it back. Sue me. I don't care. What are you going to get? What you want? No, man. You guys took too long. You didn't sign it. We wanted it signed.
And ultimately, when the cuts occur, it's going to hurt our staff again. It's going to hurt our kids. It's going to hurt our staff's families.
Yeah.
That's bothering, man.
Yeah. Well, what was one of the first things they said is they mentioned closing classrooms, condensing classrooms. That's the first thing, because you might have a money issue. You might have some money issues. The first thing you do, and you're the one that's causing the money issues. So anyway, man, you better wrap it up, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just get too mad. But anyway, hey, man. Thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah, fact finding.
Fact finding, yeah, sure. Why not? Ashton, fact finding. Fact finding. Ashton says, Little Caesar. Yep. 5-0, man. This is a real board right here. 5-0.